Hi everyone, my name is Mohammed Rashid Kamal. Welcome to the Global Mindset University and ServiceNow Star. On today's webinar, we're going to discuss about how we can install a Mid Server. For those of you who haven't yet watched the first episode, what a Mid Server, just in short, it helps you communicate your ServiceNow instance with an external. It could be an instance or help you to communicate ServiceNow with an external application. So on today's specific work, we're going to install the Mid Server between the ServiceNow instance and AWS instance. So we're gonna create some EC2 over there in AWS environment, and we're gonna connect that one to the ServiceNow. So what is Mid Server? In general, Mid Server help you communicate your ServiceNow instance with an external instance. It could be an external applications, like in this case we have AWS, so we can communicate that one. And basically, when you think of Mid Server, you're thinking about a Java application, okay, that run either on the Windows server or a Linux server, Unix Linux server. So it ran either on a Windows server or a Unix daemon. So that is what we call it, a Mid Server. So these Mid Servers help you communicate your instance with an external instance. So that way you have this secure communication between your ServiceNow instance with an external instance. Great. So, and for that, I'm a ServiceNow developer, I'm a system admin, application developer, portal developer, and also certified on ITSM, ITBM, so, and as well as the advanced performance analytics. Oh, thank you. So today we'll show you how we can set up that Mid Server between the ServiceNow and as well as the AWS. So that's what you get when you work from home. So I'm at home right here in the studio. Then with that, I've invited a guest, Shikunder, is going to introduce himself, and after that, let's go ahead and see how we can install. Great. Welcome again. Thank you for being with us here at the Global Mindset University and ServiceNow Star. My name is Mohammed Rashid Kamal. If you haven't yet subscribed to the Global Mindset University and the ServiceNow Star YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe so that you are not gonna lose when we make any webinar. So that's how you go ahead and subscribe in the Global Mindset University and as well as the ServiceNow Star. Make sure to click the bell icon so you can get the notification when we make any Shikunder, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, this is Sukhvinder Singh, and Muhammad is my best friend. We are creating a video today, how to install Mid Server in AWS and connect to the ServiceNow.
That's right. So what we're going to do, like Shikunder say, we're going to create this Mid Server. In the first episode, you guys already aware that the benefit of Mid Server and how we can create Mid Server, and what are the benefits of Mid Server, why we need Mid Server in ServiceNow as well as in AWS. Great, so in this episode, like I couldn't say, we're going to demo for you guys. So we're gonna demo how we can connect or create a Mid Server in ServiceNow as well as AWS. So we're gonna start. This is a demo instance, a ServiceNow developer instance. We go ahead and log in there. We can show you guys step by step, and both of us did this one before, so and we're gonna do it again so everyone can have it and share it. So the first thing what we did is we go ahead and create a user. As you can see right here, that's the one we created, a Mid Server user 1. Now today we're gonna go ahead and create a second user calling Mid Server user 2. We can go ahead and create that. Mid Server user 2, and here I'm first name Mid Server, last name user 2. Just gonna identify. So for the password, for the time being, we're just gonna keep it the same with the user ID, but in real setup it shouldn't be the same. So something password need to be secure, so we don't need to make it the same. But here this is just for demo purpose, so we'll keep that one. And we need to make sure that the active button is checked. If it is not checked, so it's not gonna work. This user is not active, so it doesn't go ahead and help us bring the connection between AWS and the ServiceNow. So in that case we need to make sure the active is checked. The rest of the things we don't need to worry about. The calendar, the time zone, the rest is fine. So we then go ahead and save this one here. Right after we saved, we'll see that there are related tables gonna come here under. So within that, most important thing we need to worry about is the roles. So the role groups, delegate, scale, those doesn't have that much impact here with the Mid Server. So we're gonna go ahead and edit that. I'll say never. I'm not gonna save that one. And here Mid Server. So Mid Server is right there. Then we can put it here, and I'll go ahead and save that. Alright, so as you can see, a lot of roles are added directly, and those are the roles we have. So that's the first part. So we have the username, and we also have the password. And the next thing, we're gonna go ahead and go to the Mid Server, and the Mid Server we're going to download a zipped file. So this is a server. So here this is a server. So whatever kind of server we need, let's say it could be Linux. For some people Linux would be easy, we can use Linux, or we can also use Windows. But in this demo we're gonna go ahead and use Windows Server here. You just go ahead and click here, download. This takes around 5, 6, 7 minutes because this is a bigger file, but for the demo purpose and to shorten our time, we already downloaded that. No big deal. You just click this one, and then you will have it in your download folder, and then you're good to go in this step. Great. And the next part, so now we created a user and we gave it a password, and second thing is we downloaded the Mid Server over here, which is the one we're looking for, which is the 64-bit. In the next part, we need to go to our AWS. We're gonna create EC2 instance. Now, like we said, we have one running instance, but we're gonna create a new instance here, a new running instance, and we need to, that might take a couple of times. So we're just gonna get and click launch instance, and from here we can select the Windows Server that we are looking, because that's what we downloaded, the Windows Server. There are here, let me ask Shukwinder if you can add a couple of things here. What are the criteria we need to use when we select even the Windows servers here? Is there any criteria we need to put in our mind?
So Muhammad, now you launch EC2. EC2 is a server. Once we have EC server, we must have any OS. OS means operating system, maybe Linux, maybe Windows. Now we are using Windows in this criteria. So Windows server have different capacity. According to our requirement, we can use medium, smaller, medium of large. That means how bigger is your environment, how much CPU you need, how much memory you need. So according to your capacity, we can select our Windows server. Or if you want Linux server, same thing. You can so select the Windows server. I think in this smaller one because that is free. We don't want to pay anything.
Yep.
Yeah. So in real time, you can get a requirement from your manager.
Yep.
How much capacity we need. Yeah. So right now we are taking a basic one because this is free.
Good point. So thank you so much for that. So it's free, and we just demoed it for you guys. But in real setup, depend on your environment. So how big is your environment? But in our case, we're just gonna stick, like Suk say, with the free one, which is 64-bit. We need to make sure it's 64 bits, and we're gonna select this one. Here we have the general purpose, and it looks like it is free tire. So that's great, and there are some other information here we can read. So we need to scroll up. Alright, let's move this one to this side, and then the next thing is we need to configure the instance detail, or we can preview it if you would like. So that is the instance detail. Okay, that's the instance detail. Now we're gonna go ahead and add the storage part. Again, the same thing. We can add more storage if we would like to have more storage. Like if we have a bigger server, then we can add more on that part. Tag, basically just an identification. A tag consists of case-sensitive key value pair. So it has a key and value. It is optional. We don't need to add that. We're gonna configure security. So security-wise, here we have security group. We can create a new security group, or we can add it into an existing security group. For that, we can create a new security group. Let's go ahead and launch. So here is the thing. Select an existing key pair or create a new key pair. So I know we did this one before, so if you can jump a little bit on this part as well. Security key pair.
Yeah, if you have already created other Windows server or Linux server, you must have public key and private key.
Right.
If you don't have your first time installing, you must create your new key pair, because when we connect to the server, we must have a key, right?
That's right.
Key mean we can open the window. Just like the same thing in the server, we need public and private key. So here we already have, because we created. If not, just you can create new one, or if you already have, just create, you can choose existing key pair.
Yep. Thanks, Suk. So we're gonna go ahead and create a new key pair. That's fine. Now we can give it here Mid Server user 2 credential. Then here's the thing. So we need to download the key pair and keep it, because this is the time you can have that key pair. If not, you're not gonna have it again. So that's the warning over there. So we have it here, Mid Server user.pm. The file we have. We're gonna go ahead and we can double click, launch the instance, Awesome. So launching an instance right here is successful. Your instance are now launching. So it's not yet launched, it's launching. We can go ahead and view the launch log, so to see what are the things are successful. And if we go to the instance directly, as you can see right here, it is pending. So it is pending. That means the instance is being ready. We have asked a lot of different things, right? The storage, the capacity, the RAM, all those cool stuff. So all those things are taken care of by AWS. They are highly busy right now. It's taken care of right there. And when it is done, we can see that data state will change. Then that's the time we can take all the information here that we required to connect to our virtual server.
So here I think, Muhammad, we need just like password or a window password. You can get the window password from here, and I think you have to go to action,
Right.
and get window password. Then we can use a remote window server.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead action here, and we can find.
Get window. The second one.
Okay. Second one. Get window password.
Yeah.
So the password not yet available because it's processing.
Because
yeah.
Sometimes takes time.
Okay. Let's go ahead and decrypt the password.
Yeah. Please wait at least 4 minutes.
Private key must begin with begin. The password not available, so we need to wait a little bit 4 minutes. It's right there.
Yeah.
The last 4 minutes after launching an instance. So that's the things need to be wait, because it's just AWS is doing in the background. Looks like it is running right now. So if we go there and get the password, the window password, please wait at least 4 minutes. So we gotta wait 4 minutes. So that's something we need to wait.
Yeah, sometimes takes time.
Yep.
Now,
absolutely.
now you can be just like save DNS and IP.
Okay.
In the meantime.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and delete this. I'm gonna go ahead and get the public DNS here. Let's move this from this side. Public DNS. That is. Just copy the clipboard. Alright. Double click here. That's my notes. Okay. This is the public DNS.
And also you can take IP address also.
Okay. Right. That's the IP address, which is the IPv4 public IP address. We can copy that and keep it in the next line. Right, those are the things we need. So IP address, just some kind of identification. Alright, that's address. Okay, that's the public. Alright, public DNS, and now let's check. That 4 minutes is yet. Get window password. There we go. Now looks like it's ready. So to get the window password here, we need to decrypt it. Key pair, right?
Whatever you yes, we saved before.
All right. Let's go ahead and bring the key pair. It's under downloads. Under downloads. Here we go. Mid Server. That's the one. Open it up. This is the one. Now we go ahead and decrypt this. The password decryption is successful, and the public DNS, the username is administrator. That's something we need, and that's the password. That was the one. Now actually we can just click that copy clipboard.
You're gonna save both username and password both.
Okay. Awesome. So here is the thing. So username, it's a capital administrator. Awesome. And then password. This is the password. Perfect.
Yep.
Alright, those are the things we need. And the next thing, we just need to close this. and now we can open our
remote desktop.
Remote desktop. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and find the remote desktop. Alright. This is Mac. We are demoing in Mac, so it's a little bit different, but we have the remote desktop. Let's see. Microsoft Art. That's the one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and open the remote desktop. So this is something that we did yesterday when we do another mid server. Now we're going to create a different one. So what we need to do here, let's go ahead and delete this one, or we can just edit, and we can change whatever file where we saved it here, so we can add that one. First important thing is the PC name, which is right here, which is the public DNS. So we're gonna go ahead and copy that and add it here. Right click and go ahead and paste this. Alright, so we got the PC name, the user account is my server, then gateway, the connection is saved. Alright, so what else we can add? General device folder. Okay, let's go ahead and save. So you are connecting to the RDP, to the remote host that EC1. Be verified back to the roots. So certification, your connection may not be secure. Do you want? So just warning, asking us. We can say yes. So now asking us the password. What is the password we have? So the password here for the username is administrator, and the password is this. Well, we can just copy. We don't have any white space. That would be great. So we go ahead and paste the password here. We can see the password D5XH, and the end part is DIHE. Looks like good. Let's go ahead and continue. Now it's trying to connect the server to our virtual server. Looks like things are going very well. It takes some time to load everything, so we need to be patient here, setting up the personalized setting and applying some enhanced security configuration. So gotta give it a couple of minutes here to take care of all of those cool features. Awesome. So as you can see, the virtual machine or the server is ready now, up and run. So the next thing what we can do, we just go ahead and minimize this.
Muhammad,
yes.
Now we can say this is the new Windows server in front of us. But whatever we created with our username and password, this is a brand new Windows server that is connected with AWS. So now we will connect this server to ServiceNow.
To the ServiceNow. That is the main and the important part. All the fun part is right there. So, like Suk say, this is the window machine that is created. It's up and run. As you can see, it looks like window, and it's up and run in the public. Now we need to connect this one to our ServiceNow, so using a mid server. So for that, we can use the internet over here to go ahead and log into our ServiceNow and download the zip file, which is the mid server zip file. But this takes time. So there is a short way to do that. Me and Suk and our friend find out that we can just copy that folder, the zip file, and bring it here and save it into root. Then right there we can extract it and continue from there. So to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and find that file from download. It is under download. Let's go ahead and find it. So it modified. Actually, I just saw it. Right, this is the mix. So that's the PME file. That's the file. So it is Orlando. I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. Okay. Once I copy, like I said, we can go ahead and mid server or remote server here. Let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, so the next thing is we need to open a file here. We need to go to this PC and find the local disk. That's called the root, right? Local, and over there we need to create a folder called ServiceNow, because that's our goal. We need to connect this one, ServiceNow. That's a folder we created. Again, we need to double click here and paste the folder that we bring it from there. This file takes a little bit longer because it's a bin file. It has a lot of all the information, all the server informations that we have from the ServiceNow. So as you can see, it takes 12 minutes. So this is gonna be a very good time for me and Suk now to discuss and give you guys a couple of other benefits that you get from having a mid server. So to start off, mid server. Okay, so Suk, I know you are a Linux guy. Have done a lot of work on Linux part, so if you can give us a little bit about Linux.
Linux server is the more secure server than a Windows server, but mostly if we install Linux server, everybody need to know Linux because that works on commands.
Right.
So Windows servers, everybody can use Windows server. And that's why easy to use.
Right.
So that's why every company, mostly people like the Windows server, not Linux server,
okay.
Because only skilled person can use Linux server.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this point, we are using Windows server. Windows server we have also lot of security, right, and nobody can hack.
Okay.
So now in this situation, we install mid server in AWS and we have mid server in ServiceNow.
Right.
So all the information, all the devices information, whatever device owned by AWS, so that mid server will collect and give the information to the ServiceNow. And all the devices, whatever in the ServiceNow will collect, and we can get all the information through discovery. So now that is the next step. First step is mid server. Mid server is the middleman,
right,
who will get the information from AWS,
right,
and get the information from ServiceNow,
right,
and in giving that all information to third party, that will be discovery, and that we can raise CMDB. So we will talk later that.
Exactly. So you guys might hear about when Suk say discovery. So you see, this is not gonna be like the first episode. This is like the second episode, right? So in the next episode, we will also continue creating a discovery as well. So using ServiceNow. What did that mean? Like Suk say, the main purpose here, when you create a mid server, you will have something in mind. So the mid server is a very secure way connecting your external instance. It could be like AWS or some other applications as well, so in the cloud, so you can connect that one with your ServiceNow securely. So the mid server is very adaptive at filtering of information, so it's up to us to give it the tools it needs to do the job. That's an important thing. So whatever tool you give it, it will work for you. So mid server is really highly secure, and it's when you configure your discovery, for example, on the IP address, the range can include the address of a single device. You can scan a single device, or you can scan how many whatever available devices you have in your network. So in our work in the future, we can also continue like discovering whatever device that we have in our AWS instance. So that is really a great part here in ServiceNow, and I'm glad to mention that why these days are really the difference between the Linux and also the Windows server. So the Linux is really challenging, and needs a really highly skilled and technical, but it's highly common right now. The Windows is becoming more common, so that's why we do more here using Windows Server. But in the other episode, if you guys wanna see how to create a mid server using the Linux, we can do as well that one in the future episode. But like, go ahead, sir.
How about for the high availability? We need to more than one server.
Right.
So sometimes what happen? One server down, so you will not get any information.
Right.
Although AWS have multi AG system, so that's why we need more than two server or more than one server. If one server fail, you will getting information from other server.
That's right. I just got a comment from our audience that they were asking how many servers do we need. So he just answered that question, that it depends on your requirements, like how big, because it's good to have, like Suk's recommending that we need to have more than one server. So if one is failed, so your work shouldn't be impacted because of that, so the other one need to up and run. So in between you need to take care of some additional work, like when should run with the other one. So you do business rule and some other scripts to take care of that. So thank you for adding that. So I'm just checking here for some comments and suggestions and questions are coming from the people. So we want to say thank you all of you for joining us here as well. We appreciate for your questions and comments. Yeah, it's great. So we are almost 6 minutes remaining while this is extracting, right? Actually it's copying, and once it's copied, we need to go ahead and extract that file, so before we run it, because it's a zip file to make it short. Awesome.
In ServiceNow, CMDB and Mid Server is very important. All the company they are using CMDB because now they are using AWS clouding. ServiceNow also a clouding platform, but now making more secure and reliable. They are using AWS, Azure, or other things. So that's why our company also using AWS.
That's right. Yeah.
So now we have two platforms, ServiceNow and AWS, because mostly company moving to clouding AWS.
Yep, I cannot agree anymore. You guys might see that these days a lot of not just even government company but private companies are really moving their stuff to the AWS cloud environment, and that is a time you need this kind of mid server, so securely connecting to your AWS instance, which is in the cloud, and getting that network information. So whatever routers, or the main purpose, when you discover all those, you will see it in your CMDB. That's another cool part. So CMDB is your configuration management database. So in your configuration management database, it will automatically populate whatever information you get through your the mid server get it first, and it populated into your CMDB. So the CMDB will have that, so you will check what are the problems in the upper stream and downstream, so you can easily track whatever things are happening there. Let's say you have a server, right? One server has some issue. If the server is not working, you will see the result here in your ServiceNow. So that's really cool, and it's really getting in higher and in demand. That's why me and Suk wanna use our time here to show you guys how we can demo this for you guys. So hopefully it's gonna be great for everybody. Awesome. So I'm checking here if there are any other questions. One of the questions is coming up here. Let's see. Yeah, I think we answered this one, but there's another question. So if you can answer that, what is the use of Mid Server in ServiceNow? The use of Mid Server in ServiceNow.
Mid server is very useful in ServiceNow as well as in AWS side. I just before I told you, mid server is the middleman, just like middleman who know everything.
Right.
Middleman getting information and giving to all the information to the discovery,
Right.
and we have one other storage, that is CMDB. All the information we are protecting and putting in the and that repository. So same thing, we have two mid server in AWS and ServiceNow. We connect AWS mid server to the ServiceNow mid server. So all the information, devices information of AWS, we are collecting from mid server of AWS, and all the information whatever we have in ServiceNow, we are getting from mid server of ServiceNow. So this is the benefit.
Yep, absolutely. So, to add to jump on what Suk say, so this Mid Server, it is just a Java application that run on Windows or Linux. Like Suk said earlier, you can use either a Windows or a Linux. It depends on your requirements. Some company may say, oh, we don't want to use Linux. We have people who are really skilled on Windows, let's use Windows. And some say, no, Windows is not highly secure, let's use Linux. So it depends on your company requirement. So it's a Java application, so that runs either on a Linux or a Window. So today, for those of you who just joined us late, so we are demoing here, creating a mid server that can connect us from ServiceNow to AWS. So our purpose, our end goal is to create this mid server. Right now, we are now copying the mid server, which is we are in Orlando, the Orlando version. We are on Orlando version. We are copying this one into our virtual machine here, which is our virtual window machine. Once that is done, we go ahead and extract. It looks like it is done now. So what we need to do, we just need to go ahead and extract. So to do that, I have to make a right click here, right click, and then extract all. That much simple. Just need to extract. We need to keep the name as it is. So this might be a little quicker than bringing the file. So what we did is we just instead of downloading it inside, we go ahead and copy it. Now it is extracting. Once it's extract, the next fun step will come up. All right, it's going really quick. Awesome. Extraction is quite quick. I love it. See? So that's the file you have. So once you extract this file, you have it say agent, and that's today's date. So we just need to open this file, and the next thing what we can do, we have the installer here. The installer, and it's a type window batch file. It's a window batch file. We need to make right click there and run it as an administrator. So there's a way you can open it. You can open it right there, but you might encounter some issue. This is come from our experience we gather. So just go ahead and run as an administrator, and you will see. So it will run. It might ask us some security question here we need to fill up, but definitely it will be okay now. So it's starting the installation. This might take another few minutes, and it will ask us to log in our instance, which is the ServiceNow instance. So what we have right here is your instance, ServiceNow.com. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring that. It's over here. Let's go ahead and copy. So when we copy, it just need to be .com. So we don't need to have the other information here. So let's go ahead and find. Okay, we are right there. It's over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this one and paste it here. Okay, so we need to remove this the slash, so we need to make sure https dev 59361.service-now.com. So do we need to add www.dev?
No need.
Okay. Now here is the cool thing. So this is the Mid Server username. This is the one we created in our first step. Again, I remember that we say mid-server-user1. That's the one we say. I'm gonna go ahead and just copy. Oh, user2, right?
User2, yeah.
Okay, mid server-user2. Let's go ahead and copy that and put it in the password. So there's a way you can use proxy, but this is not a proxy. This is the correct username and password. Now we go ahead and test our connection. So if it is successful, be good. If not, we will double check on the URL, the username and the password. So looks like connection tested successfully. Press next to continue. Awesome. Now let's go ahead and say next. Okay, then what happened here? So now we have the Mid Server. Let's go ahead and view instance name. Okay, view installation log. That's something we can check. So August 27 it is installed. Installation from the onward GUI interaction. Alright, so that is good. Now what we can do, we can minimize this and go to our ServiceNow. We can log in here. And if we scroll down here under Mid Server, we have servers. So we have one server, but we are expecting.
No, just refresh.
Okay, let's go ahead and refresh the list. Alright, let's go ahead and again refresh. Okay, I think we have refreshed the list. We only have one. So let's check here the user, the one we just created here. Do here user server user2. Oh, you know what? Mid server user.
Need to validate. Oh, need to validate.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the server. Mid server
2. No, not mid server. We created mid server 2, right?
Yes.
Download, yeah.
But we need to see it here, right? We don't have it now, so let's log in again. So let's take the URL. Take the URL here again. All right. So what it say here? Required credential not available for basic and relay. Okay, it could be the credential that we use may not be correct. So let's go ahead and again installer and run as administrator. You can run it again and see. Now we will be careful in adding that. Alright, https 593. Okay, then the username. Okay, let's copy
server mid server user 2.
Okay, let's see here. That's the one. So it is lowercase, right? Mid server dash user 2. That's the one.
Yeah.
And copy that. That's it. Now let's go ahead and test. Testing connection. Alright, so connection tested successfully. Press next to continue. Let's go ahead and say next. So when we say next, now configure mid name parameter, the mid server name. So
okay,
let's give it the mid server name, right? So this is mid server 2. Let's give it a mid server 2. Now these things are automatically populated, which is the mid server wrapper name and the mid server wrapper display name. Earlier we just didn't create this one, so that was it could happen like that. So we need to fill up this, which is the parameter here, the mid server name. So we give it a mid server 2, and we need to say next. Now we have the ServiceNow instance right there. The instance mid server user is going to be mid server user 2 as a credential. User proxy, we haven't applied a user proxy, that's why it's say false. Save the configuration by clicking next. When you click next, it will save us. Then this might take again a couple of minutes, but we need to start the mid server, right? We need to start the mid server here. Then when we start the mid server, this might take again a couple of minutes. Your mid server has been successfully configured. To begin using the mid server, click start mid server. That's what we click here, which is a start mid server. So the mid server is already created. Now let's we can exit, or we can see the installation log. So it's already created. Now let's go ahead and check. Click on the ServiceNow server 2, then click validate under related link. So this is, you need to go to your ServiceNow and you need to do this. So the name is it will be mid server 2. That's the one we just created. Great. So with that, let's go ahead and now if we refresh, we need to see another mid server. Here it comes. So the name is called mid server 2, and now like it say, we need to go ahead and click validate. Okay, so when you validate here, you will have a couple of things. It will allow application, it turn it on. We don't need to do anything here. We just need to say save. If you want to skip it, we can skip it. It's up to us, but it's good to keep all on, which is allowing the IP range, allowing the capability, and allowing the application. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that. It is validating. Let's just give it a few minutes here until it's done. You see right here validating it. Say yes, it is validating, and status is up. It's up and run. Mid server being validated, so it's being validated. We can keep it a couple of minutes. This will take. So you can see that the host operating system, the operating system that we use today is a window. That's what you can see right there. So as you can see, all these informations we haven't done it manually, right? It just came through the mid server that we created through the AWS. So it just came automatically, and then it is populated. Started is up, validated, yes. Alright. So now we can go back to the server again here, which is the mid server. Let's go ahead and here server.
No, mid server.
Yeah, the mid server. So we can go ahead. You have different kind of servers, right? So we have the mid server right here. We have server. We can click that one. Now, yes, you can see the mid server 2. That's the one we just created. Has the host name right there, and the starter is up, which is up and run, and it's validated. Yes, it is validated, and that's the version which is Orlando right now. The ServiceNow instance that we are using is Orlando version. So Paris is here with us, so we haven't yet upgraded, but that's the version we are now. And last refreshed, that's the time. Today is the 27th of August, right? And then that started, stopped, and logged in user is the mid server user 2. So that's the user is logged in. This is the one we created in ServiceNow, which is the mid server user 2. Great! So it looks like we did it successfully again, Shukwinder. And this is really a great thing. And I want to say thank you to you and to our brother who really support us to come up with this successful implementation of mid server, ServiceNow, and AWS.
Thank you.
Yep. Anything you want to add, so before we end up this session?
And I think this is very helpful for everybody who is working for ServiceNow and using clouding AWS.
Yep.
Is very, very helpful because mostly people, if they are on AWS, they know only AWS.
That's right.
Or other person, mostly people only ServiceNow. So this will be very helpful who need AWS and ServiceNow.
That is true.
Starting mid server.
Yep.
So we are talking about how many mid server. If they need more than 2 or 3 server, we need load bells. One thing I can add, if we need more than 2-3 mid server, and that time we need load bells. That if 1 or 2 fail, 3 will be up.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you so much, Shikwinder. This is really great, and this is in high demand these days, especially creating a mid server and also having that very good working functional CMDB configuration management database. Really highly important, and I cannot emphasize anymore that the importance of having that skill, both AWS part, the cloud management, and as well as the ServiceNow. So both of them are high booming here. I want to say thank you so much for joining us here at the Global Mindset University, and I want to say thank you, Shukwinder, as well as our brother who helped us to come up with this crucial implementation. And until we see everyone in the next episode, we want to say have a great one.
Thank you.
Great. That's how you create a mid server that can help you communicate data between your ServiceNow instance to your AWS environments. So that's just a very good demonstration that we have in this webinar. So we're gonna meet with another webinar where we can demonstrate something that what we can get out of this. It could be like a continuation from this one, because this is a mid server. So ultimately, mid server by itself is not the end goal. So the end goal, using that mid server, you can do so many things. One is like if you have a configuration database management in AWS, and if you wanna scan, all those items from your AWS and bring it to your ServiceNow configuration management database using a discovery application of the ServiceNow, yes, it is possible. So on the next episode, we'll come up demonstrating from A to Z how we can use discovery where we already have our mid server from the ServiceNow to AWS. So that's another, and the next that's another 1 hour webinar is gonna come up, and very, very short, so we can leave on the description here when it's going to happen that. So I want to thank to Shikwinder, and as well as to all of you here with us, and thank you so much for sending your questions, comments, and suggestions as well. So make sure you subscribe so you're not gonna lose any of our episodes when it comes. So that's all we have, and again, my name is Mohammed Rashid Kamal from the Global Mindset University, and I'm a ServiceNow star. Till we see each other in the next webinar, have a great day everyone. Wish you safe and great time.